Sainers, we are 2 days out from the draft. This time in 2 days' time, 7:15 p.m. the draft. To be honest, they're probably still previewing for another 45 minutes, but you get what I mean. It's going to be draft night, Wednesday night. We're going to be live for it, so make sure you tune in if you're watching at home and you want some company and some commentary. Tune into Saints TV Live. Toby, he's the man. His Phantom Draft over the last couple of years, especially the last one, has been eerily close to the top 10 to the top 20. He, 2 hours ago, released his latest top 30 Phantom Draft late picks, his whispers on what might happen. This does not include, I believe, trades on the night, like pick swaps and that sort of thing, but it is as close as it gets to what clubs are looking at likely to do in the draft. So I thought, good timing, a couple days out from the draft. Let's just quickly react to who he thinks St Kilda are going to pick up in the first night of the draft. We'll skim through quickly the previous picks. So number 1, Richmond Sam Laylaw, no surprise. Number 2 is Finn O'Sullivan at North Melbourne. Alex Tyrue's one that was linked to North, and that's why they were kind of looking at swapping that pick, but it looks like in Toomey's, they are sticking with 2. Finn O'Sullivan, good pick there. Carlton with Jagger Smith, very good player, so that'll suit them nicely. 4, Adelaide, Sid Draper. He's one that people are finding difficult to kind of put where he's going to fit in, because if Adelaide don't select him, he may slide. So that's a watch on Adelaide if they go for him, because I know they're very big on Harvey Langford as well. Toomey mentions it here. If not him, Harvey Langford, Jagger Smith, Finn O'Sullivan, if they're available. Unlikely, but Harvey Langford will definitely be around for them to pick there. Levi Ashcroft at pick 5, matching Melbourne's bid. Number 6, Harvey Langford for Melbourne. Another one where Tyree was linked with Melbourne, so that's another watch for what the Melbourne Demons do, because this will all affect us in the long run, leading up to pick, it will eventually be pick 8 on the night. Josh Smiley at 7 to Richmond. He's one that I was pretty bullish about getting. I think that size separates him and could offer another point of difference in the midfield with someone like Filippo and Windhager going through there. Now we're at 8. Toby Travaglia, 187 centimetre defender who can move into the midfield, likened to Will Day. He was second in the 2K time trial at the Combine. And he's one that we've been talked up to be looking at over the last couple of weeks. You know, you read online and the experts, they all rate Toby Travaglia. He's an elite runner and he's very versatile off halfback, midfielder, wingman. He can play pretty much everywhere. He's that type of player. I don't know if people are going to be happy if he's our absolute first pick, but I think if he's picked up eventually on night 1, I think we'll all be pretty happy. But if he is the A-grade talent we're looking at, I don't think people... I don't know if people are going to be too happy with that, although he looks like a very trustworthy player. He looks like a bloke that's just going to come in and be competitive and be very good at whatever role you give him. Whether he's that A-grade midfielder that we all hoped that we would get in this draft, I'm not too sure. But Toby Travaglia at 8... There, number 9, Gold Coast, pick 9, matching St Kilda's bid on Leo Lombard. They'll get him. And then 10, St Kilda. Alex Tyrue, the Flying Viking, 193 centimetre tall defender who can swing forward and be dangerous there. I'm a big fan of this bloke. I'll be honest. I would be stoked if we picked him up. He's not a gun mid, but he's a gun tall. And we've lost Membry. We've lost Tom Campbell, backup ruck. We've lost Josh Battle, obviously. We've lost that many tools across the board that we do need to start thinking about stocking up on tools, because you look at our forward line, King, Sharman, Caminiti, one of them goes down, who you got? Backline, obviously we need depth. We need a Josh Battle replacement at some point, whether it's through the draft or we try and pick someone up at another point. Alex Tyrue could fit the bill there at 193 centimetres, and 2 months ago, no one knew who this kid was, and now he's top 10 calculations, top 5 calculations at some point. So I'd be stoked to get him. I still don't know, like they've obviously got Xavier Lindsay, there's a couple of other players there that we'd be looking at, but if Tyrue was available at that pick, I'd be staggered if we didn't pick him up. But I'd be surprised if Melbourne or North at some point don't facilitate something before that to get him. But if we got him, Gippsland power kid, flies for everything, could be anything type. He's the one where it's like his ceiling would be enormous, but it might be one of those frustrating ones where you got to be patient with him. And I know saying, we're all very impatient for success, and we kind of assumed that going into this draft that we would get 2 very good midfielders. We may end up getting, based on Toomey's Phantom, a very good defender that can play midfield and wing, running defender. So everyone will think he's just a half-back flanker, basically. Like we've stockpiled a lot of them already. And then a tall. And everyone's like, where's that gun mid? So that's going to be the interesting discussion on the night. Obviously, I still think that we could probably trade a pick and get later picks to pick up. I don't know if Lindsay will be available. I know a lot of people like Bo Allen. And then outside of that, Murphy Reed. I know we've looked at him. Harry Armstrong, probably not. Joe Berry, possibly. And then after that, there's just like Taj Houghton, everyone talked about being sort of top 15 pick. I doubt we're going to pick him up because we delisted his brother. So I just don't think we're going to do that. And then aside from that, we're kind of not really going to be active in that first round unless we shuffle around some picks, which obviously this Phantom does not talk about. So Sainers, what are your thoughts on this Phantom? Toby Travaglia, if we picked him up, Will Day type, he looks like he's got really good head on him, like a really good attitude about, like I watched his highlights a number of times over the last couple of weeks, and he has impressed me every time I watch him. I think he's a great player, and I don't think we're going to be upset at having him, but I think if we missed out on all the mids, that'd be really disappointing. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Melbourne and North do in particular on that night, and Adelaide. If Adelaide don't pick Draper, that puts a spanner in the works. If they do pick him, who knows? But it's going to be a very, very interesting night. Tyroo, Sainer. I would be stoked with that, honestly. But I'm curious, Sainers, put it in the comments. What's the best case scenario, realistic, for the night? Obviously, getting no mids at all or no player that's capable of playing midfield would be hugely disappointing because we all kind of are like, great, we got pick 7 and 8, 2 gun mids done. We're going to be a flag contender in 2 years. But it's not as simple as that, with what other clubs want. And, if we had it finished a bit lower on the ladder and we get top 5 pick, it makes it a little bit easier, but not the case, So we're going to work with what we got. And if we do pick up Travaglia and Tyroo, I'd be pretty happy with that. Although I'd still really hope that, there's a slider at some point and we can maybe split 8 and get later picks and possibly pick up one of these blokes anyway. So going to be a big night, Sainers. So thank you very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this Phantom. Very curious to hear what you think. Who's your number 1 target in the draft? Put in the comments. Let me know. So thanks again, Sainers. Enjoy the rest of your week. And as always, go you mighty Sainers. See you guys.